Good morning, stepsons. How are you today? Time for another shave. So, what have I got for you today? I was thinking last night that when I was growing up, I had a few examples of what it was like to be an older man than I was, or even an older boy. My older siblings, I had some older brothers, but in particular, there was a guy in my neighborhood. Really, the whole reason I'm doing this. Hopefully, you can hear okay with that. It's because the guy by the name of Mark Gould, and he lived around the corner and down half a block away. But he started taking me under his wing. He was a good guy. I guess you'd call him a blue collar worker. Didn't, to my knowledge, didn't have a college degree and wasn't like a lawyer or a professional or he was a family guy. His kids were older though, but knew him from church. But he let me come over to his house a lot. Basically, kind of took me under his wing. He'd welcome me in. Biggest thing I remember was like on Sundays, I could go over to his house after church and play foosball on his foosball table, which, we didn't have anything like that. Watch football and eat snacks. And occasionally his family would go camping, him and his wife, and sometimes some of their kids. And he'd invite me to go with him too. And it was a lot of fun. Now I bring this up because I didn't realize it at the time, but I was learning from him what it's like to be a man. And as you're growing up without a dad in your daily lives, now you may still get to see your dad on occasion, or sometimes your dad may be a good guy and he may be a dirtbag, maybe a bad example. You didn't get to pick your dad. You just kind of got him. But what I want you to realize is you can still choose to learn what it's like to be a man by looking for a good example in your own life and then emulating him by acting like he does, learning to appreciate what he does, and learning from his example. Most of the time, in a traditional sense, you'd learn what it's like to be a dad and a father, a husband from your own dad. But if he's not there, or he's not a good example, it doesn't mean you can't still learn how to do it. You're just not going to learn from your own dad. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. But that's the good news. You can. You can still choose. You can still learn how. You just have to learn not from the example of your own father, but from somebody else, like Mark Gould was for me, and others. He wasn't the only guy that was a good example for me, but he was definitely one that had a big impact for me. So Johnny, when I tell you this stuff, I want you to think about who you know in your life that's an adult man that's a good example. Someone that you could ask questions to if you wanted to. If you hopefully know him well enough. Someone that's doing good things, responsible, hard worker, honest, good to other people. And start to look how that guy lives his life. And as you see what he does, then you can learn what you can do as you grow up. It's going to be important that you take responsibility for your own life, for being a man. And as you grow into adulthood, you've got to do man things. And sometimes those are things you don't always look forward to doing. And you got to learn how to do them. All right? So, anyway, those are some thoughts for this morning. Make sure you look for a good example and follow them. And that's how you can learn to be a good man, a good husband, a good father as you grow up and do what's right, even though you don't have that example potentially in your own life. All right? If you're liking this, like and subscribe, make comments, post what I can add on here for future episodes, for future messages, for morning shaves, whatever it is. But Johnny, always remember you can succeed and your stepdad loves you. See you next time.